my dear students, welcome to our science class. And you know that we have started with a new chapter, that is chapter 8, motion. Fine. In the first session of this chapter we have done the discussion about distance displacement, that is motion in a straight line, and along with that we have also done the discussion about the two quantities, that is scalar and vector quantities. Fine. If you have not gone through that video, I have given the link of that video in the description box, so you all can have a look at that video first, then you can start learning this next module of the chapter. Fine. So let us begin with the subunit 8.1.2, that is uniform and non-uniform motion. Now these two terms you have already heard in our chemistry lesson number 2, isn't it? When we have done the discussion about homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures and their composition, right? So uniform means which is same throughout, and non-uniform means which is not same throughout, right? Now let's have one example that two cars are moving on a road, right? This car, this is the origin for both the cars. From here they both have started, isn't it? So here they are at 0. Fine. Here this car is moving, it has come to point A in 5 minutes, and since origin, or I can say from origin till A, it has covered 5 kilometers. Now this car has reached B in 10 minutes from the origin, and from here till here it has covered 10 kilometers. That is, in the next 5 minutes this car has covered 10 minus 5, 5 kilometers, isn't it? Now the same car in the next 5 minutes, that is after 15 minutes from the origin, it has covered 15 minutes. That is, in covering the next 5 kilometers, how many minutes does it take? 5 minutes, right? So if you will notice that starting from the origin, this car is covering 5 kilometers in 5 minutes. First 5 kilometers in 5 minutes, next 5 kilometers in 10 minutes, next 5 kilometers in again 15 minutes, isn't it? So here we can say that with the regular interval of time, the distance is also the same, right? Now the other car is moving in the other lane of the same road. Now this road is quite, or I can say this lane of this road is quite busy. So in the first 5 minutes, this blue car is covering 7 kilometers, right? But now here after reaching 7 kilometers, this car is facing some hurdles, or I can say some traffic is there. So due to that reason, this car will reach 10 kilometers from the origin in the next 10 minutes like this. But here in between, at A point, that is in first 5 minutes, this car reached 5 kilometers, whereas this car reached 7 kilometers only, isn't it? Now in the next 5 minutes, that is after 15 minutes, this car reached 14 kilometers only, whereas this previous one, it has reached 15 kilometers. Now if you will do the comparison of both these cars, every 5 minutes the car is traveling 5 kilometers, or I can say completing 5 kilometers, whereas this car in the first 5 minutes it covered 7 kilometers, then in the next 5 kilometers it covered only 3 kilometers. If you will subtract 7 from 10, it will be 3 kilometers. Now after 5 minutes, after completing 5 minutes, this car is completing only 4 kilometers. That is first 7 kilometers, then 3 kilometers, then 4 kilometers. So there is no uniformity observed here, isn't it? Whereas here in case of green car, 5, 5, 5, all the 5, after 5 minutes the car is traveling 5 kilometers only. That is equal distance is travel, isn't it? So here this car is moving with the uniform motion, whereas blue car is moving with the non-uniform motion. So you can note down these two definitions in your textbook. What is the definition of uniform motion? If an object travels equal distance in the equal interval of time, the object is said to be moving in uniform motion. Whereas if the object travels unequal distance, here we can say here 7 kilometers, then 3 kilometers, then 4 kilometers. There is no uniformity found in the blue car, isn't it? So this object is moving in non-uniform motion, right? Other example of uniform motion you can observe when the wristwatch When you see your wristwatch, all the hands are moving with the uniform motion, isn't it? And when the car is moving on the road with the equal distance is covered in equal interval of time, that is also called as uniform motion, as we have discussed here. Now here, due to the traffic, this car has faced non-uniform motion, right? The other example for non-uniform motion will be the bouncing of ball. When you are playing ball, right? When you are playing with a ball, it moves with a non-uniform motion. Hope these two terms are clear with you, and I request every one of you to please note both the definitions in your textbook. One more table is given in your textbook, page number 100, 8.1. If you observe the distance travelled by object A and object B, you will be able to notice the time interval is same for both the cars, right? Or both the objects, that is 15 minutes time only. But in 15 minutes, object A is moving 10 meters, whereas B is moving, or B has reached 12 meters. In the next 15 minutes, again 10 meter is travelled by object A, whereas object B has travelled only 7, isn't it? So if you will observe the column of distance travelled by object A, you will be able to find that with the regular interval of 15 minutes time, the object A is travelling 10 meters only, whereas no uniformity is found in object B, isn't it? So this is all about uniform and non-uniform motion. Let us start with 8.2, that is measuring the rate of motion. Okay, you can have a look in your textbook, page number 100. Figure which is given, figure 8.2, A and B. Now figure A, you can see that the game is on, right? Where you can see the speed of ball, that is bowling speed, is given in kilometer per hour. That is 140, 143, 135 and so on. And in the second picture where the car is moving, where to the next to the road, you can see a signboard is there where the speed limit is given. That is for the car it is 50 km per hour, and for the trucks, or I can say the heavy vehicles, it is 40 km per hour, right? So in short, we need to measure the rate of motion, and that is measured in the term of speed. So what is the definition of speed? It is the distance travelled by a body in unit time. Here you can see on the board also that I have written it is the distance. जो ऑब्जेक्ट मूव हो रहा है वो कितना डिस्टेंस कंप्लीट कर रहा है इन द गिवन टाइम और इन द यूनिट टाइम, दैट इज नोन एज स्पीड. वी हैव ऑलरेडी ऑब्जर्व द स्पीडोमीटर इन द व्हीकल्स, राइट, वेयर that object is completely moving as per the speed of your vehicle, isn't it? If you have not seen it, you can have a look at the speedometer in your vehicle. Fine. Now for your reference, I have given you the definition of speed in the formula. That speed is nothing but distance upon time. When we talk about distance, its unit is meter, right? We have discussed in the earlier module also. And time is measured in second. So if we talk about the unit of speed, it will be meter per second. So that is the SI unit of speed. Please note it down. Actually, it is given in your textbook also. So you can find it in the book. Fine. Along with this SI unit, some other units like centimeter per second and even kilometer per hour are used for practically, right? Practically also they are used. Fine. Now here whenever we discuss about speed, we have always heard that it is 100 km per hour, 180 km per hour, 80 km per hour and so on, right? We have never discussed about its direction, isn't it? We never discussed, or we have never seen, or we have never read about the direction of the speed. That is why it is considered as the scalar quantity. Hope this is clear. Now here on the board you can see that one example is given to you, right? So we will solve how to find the speed of the given object. Now here what is there? A car has covered 40 meter distance. 40 meter distance is covered in how many seconds? 10 seconds. So here distance is given. We need to find the speed. So we will use this formula. Speed is equal to distance upon time. What is the distance given here? 40 meter. What is the time given here? 10. So the speed will be 4 meter per second. Isn't it? Is this clear how to find the speed if any such question is asked? So you need to note down the terms which are given. Here I don't have enough space, so I have not noted down. You need to note down what is given. So here distance is equal to 40 meter and time is equal to 10 seconds. Then write the formula. Please substitute the values in the formula and then simplify it. And at the end when you write the answer, do not forget to mention the unit. Otherwise your mark will be deducted. Am I clear? Now if we talk about the bowling speed, again back to the figure 8.28. The bowling speed is 140, 143, 135, 145 and so on. So many speeds are given, isn't it? So what if I want to know that what is the actual speed which is used by that particular bowler? So in that case, what we need to do? We have to find the average speed of the particular object, right? Now, by looking at the figure of bowling speed, which type of motion we can say? Yes, of course, it is a kind of non-uniform motion. So in case of non-uniform motion, if we want to find the speed of the particular object, what do we need to do? We have to find the average speed of the particular object. So as we can see, so many speed of that ball has been given. So how to find the average speed? So we have already used this formula in maths, isn't it? How to find? We have to add all these. 130. And how many add-ins are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Isn't it? So if we will add this almost 825 divided by 6. Now if we will divide this by 6, on an average we will be getting 137.5 km per hour. So this is the average speed of that bowler, isn't it? How to find the average speed? In maths we have we have learnt about this thing, isn't it? Now in case of physics, how to find the average speed? So average speed is found, we have to do the addition of the distance travelled by the object upon the total time taken. Let me elaborate this. Now here I have given you the different speed, different distance covered by a single object. If suppose object A, this object A is travelling 50 meter distance in 10 seconds, 20 meter distance in 5 seconds and 30 meter distance in 10 seconds. So here we can see that the speed, the distance is differing, or I can say the distance is different. In first 10 seconds 50 meter distance is covered, in the next 5 seconds 20 and next 10 seconds 30. So here the time is also changing and the distance is also changing, right? So this is a kind of non-uniform motion, right? So how to find the average speed? So here what do we need to do? We have to do the totaling of this distance. So how to do? 50 plus 20 plus 30 upon the totaling of the time, that is 10 plus 5 plus 10. Now if we will add this, we will get 100 upon this will be 25. On simplifying this, what we have got? 4. So what is the average speed of this particular car? It is 4 meter per second. Am I clear how to find the average speed of the given object? Right? Now one example is given in your textbook. You can keep it open on page number 101, example 8.1. We will be discussing that. Whenever we solve any numericals, you have to make sure that whatever terms are given, those terms are to be enlisted first. You need to note down all the terms, then write the correct formula. Along with the formula, you need to write after that you have to substitute the value, right? So now in example 8.1, what is given? An object travels 60 meter in 4 seconds. So 16 meter in 4 seconds, and then another 16 meter in 2 seconds. Another 16 meter in 2 seconds. पहले 4 सेकंड में 16 मीटर ट्रैवल किया और following 2 seconds में again 60 meter distance is covered. So here in this case, how to find the speed? So what do we have to do? First we need to add the distance, then we need to add the time, and then we have to do the division. Am I clear? So let us do this first. First, what do we have to do? Total distance. So what will be the distance? 16 plus 16. That is going to be your 32 meter. Right? Now we have to find total time taken. So what is the total time taken? 4 seconds plus 2 seconds. That will be your 6 seconds. Isn't it? We have got distance and we have got time also. Now we know the formula of speed. What is the formula of speed? Yes, speed is equal to distance upon time. Right? Here formula is almost the same, but here what do we have to write? Average speed. Average speed will be your total distance travelled upon total time taken. Isn't it? Here we are finding average speed. So here what formula we have to use? We have to use this formula. Isn't it? Because we have done the totaling first. Because different distance and time were given. Am I clear? Total distance covered upon total time taken. Right? So what is the total distance covered? 32 meters. What is the time taken? 6 seconds. Now do the simplification. 6 5s are 30. Remainder is 2. Again 20. 6 3s are 18. 6 3s are 18, and it is a non-terminal answer, isn't it? So the average speed of this object will be 5.33 meter per second. Isn't it? So this is going to be our answer. And as I said, whenever we get the answer, what do we have to do? We have to write it separately, right? So your answer is average speed of the object is 5.33 meter per second. Isn't it? Fine. Now this is easy because both the distances were given in meter, and here also it was the seconds only. But it may be possible that in exam the units are different. May be possible. So in that cases you need to do the conversion and then you have to find it out. Am I clear? Fine. So hope speed is clear with you. Now let us discuss when we include direction along with the speed. That's what I want to ask, that if this is the road and on this road a car is moving. If suppose this is moving with 50 km per hour speed, right? But in which direction it is moving? It is moving towards the south direction, right? So when we include direction along with the speed, that will give us velocity, right? So what is the meaning of velocity? It is the speed of an object moving in a definite direction. It is the speed of an object which is moving in a definite direction, right? So it is nothing but when we will have the division of displacement with time taken, we will be getting velocity. Am I clear? So please remember this formula, that velocity is nothing but the displacement which is happening in the given time, or within the given time duration, how much displacement have been taken, isn't it? So that will give you the velocity. Fine. Now here along with the numerical value, or I can say magnitude, we are also describing the direction here, isn't it? So which type of quantity it will be? Scalar or vector? Yes, it is going to be the vector quantity. Am I clear? And with the change in the magnitude, that is with the change in the speed and with the change in the direction, the value of velocity may be constant or variable. Am I clear? It can be positive also, it can be negative also, and it can be zero also. Why? Because displacement is involved here, isn't it? I think in the previous lecture we have done the discussion about displacement, that the value of displacement can be positive also, negative also, and zero as well. Am I clear? So the velocity, its quantity or its value can be positive, negative, and zero as well. Now in the previous, just before few minutes, we have done the discussion about how to find the average speed in case of non-uniform motion. So here in case of, if the motion is non-uniform, then how to find the average velocity? So it is going to be the same way like we have found average speed. So here the total displacement and per total time taken, right? How to find average velocity in case of non-uniform motion? The formula will be same like what we used in speed. Speed is equal to distance upon time, where average speed will be total distance covered in the total time, isn't it? So here average velocity will also be counted, or it is also going to be calculated by using this formula, that is total displacement upon total time taken. This is in case when the motion is non-uniform. Now if the motion is uniform and if you want to find the velocity of the particular object, then this formula is useful. Please remember this, it is extremely important to solve the numericals. Okay, average velocity is the initial velocity, यानी जो starting की velocity है, which is denoted by small u, plus final velocity, which is denoted by v and divided by 2. So what is your average velocity when the uniform motion is there? It is initial velocity u plus final velocity v upon 2. And we know that the displacement is measured in meter and time is measured in second. So the SI unit of velocity is also meter per second, where we can also use centimeter per second and kilometer per hour as per the requirement. Am I clear? Now let us discuss about the differences between speed and velocity. As you all can see on the board, I have written the differences of speed and velocity. The same question is given in your textbook on page number 102 as well. Right? So if you want to note it down, you can note it down in your notebook also. It is also important, like yesterday, or I can say in the previous module what we discussed about, that is distance and displacement. This is also one of the most important differences frequently asked. As we know, what is the speed? It is nothing but distance travelled in the given time or in the unit time, right? And its SI unit is meter per second. Similarly, what is velocity? The displacement occurred in the given time, right? And its SI unit is also the same, right? So here, speed and velocity, they both have the same units, right? And the rest points which are noted on the board, they all are the points of differences, right? Speed does not need any direction, that is, it is a scalar quantity. Velocity needs the magnitude as well as the direction, that is why it is the vector quantity, right? We know that speed can never be negative or zero, right? But we know that displacement is involved here in velocity, so the velocity can be positive, negative, and it can be zero too, right? In case of speed, speed may or may not be equal to velocity, but the velocities can be different with the same speed. Fine. The last point, the speed will never decrease with time and it can never be zero for a moving body. कोई भी चीज कभी भी motion में होगी तो उसकी speed कभी भी zero नहीं होगी, right? But we know that the velocity can decrease with the time, and for a moving body the velocity can be zero too, because the displacement can also be zero, isn't it? So these are all the points of differences in between speed and velocity. Fine. Now we are going to discuss example 8.2, 8.3 and then few in-text questions which were left related to the topics which are taught till now. Am I clear? So please get ready with the notebook and try to solve it along with me only. Hope all are sitting with the textbook because I have not written the sum on the board. I'll read what is given in example 8.2. The odometer of a car reads 2000 km at the start of a trip. Means one car is starting at 2000 km. Means the odometer which is present in the car, it is showing the reading of 2000 km. यानी एक कार कहाँ से स्टार्ट होती है जब उसका स्पीड और the odometer in the car is showing this reading, right? And after traveling certain distance, the odometer is showing 2400 km reading. यानी जब मैंने स्टार्ट किया तब मेरी कार में ये रीडिंग दिखा रहा था और आफ्टर ट्रैवलिंग सर्टेन डिस्टेंस द ओडोमीटर इज शोइंग this reading. In short, how much distance I have traveled here? So the distance traveled by me or the object, it will be 2400 minus 2000, that is 400 kilometer. Is this clear to you? Right? Now the next is, if the trip took 8 hours, that is इतना traveling करने में मुझे कितना time लगा? The time. Here I forgot to write distance. So time, how much time is taken? 8 hours, isn't it? The time taken is 8 hours. So the average speed of the car is, what we have to find? Now here kilometer is given, so I am not going to change hour here. If we want to change, we can change it to meter per second. I'll show you how to do that also. But let us first find the average speed, right? Because in the question what is asked? Calculate the average speed of the car in kilometer per hour and then again in meter per second, right? So average speed, what is the formula of average speed? Yes, total distance covered upon total time taken, right? So what is the distance here? 400 kilometer. And what is the time taken? 8 hours. Now if we will simplify, what answer we are going to get? It will be 50 kilometer per hour. So in kilometer per hour we have got this answer. Now what do we need to do? We have to convert this kilometer per hour into meter per second, right? Now the simple conversion you have learnt in your maths also, right? If you want to convert kilometer to meter, बड़े से छोटा, 1 kilometer means how many meters? 1 kilometer means 1000 meters, isn't it? And 1 hour means how many seconds? 1 hour is equal to 60 into 60, that is 3600 seconds, isn't it? Isn't it? Now what do we have? We have kilometer per hour. So how many meters we have got? 1000 and hour is 3600. So if we will simplify, we have got 10 by 36. Right. Now on further simplification, what we will be getting here? 5 2s are 10 and 18 2s are 36. So it is going to be 5 by 18 meter per second. So 1 kilometer per hour. 1 kilometer per hour is equal to how many meter per second? 5 upon 18 meter per second. Please note it down in your textbook. This is quite important. So in exam you don't have to show this conversion. आपको ये दिखाने की जरूरत नहीं है. You have to simply use this. आपको यही use करना है. Now here what do we have got? 50 किलोमीटर पर आवर. अभी 50 किलोमीटर पर आवर को हमें कहाँ पे कन्वर्ट करना है? मीटर पर सेकंड में. So simply we will have to multiply it by 5 by 18 meter per seconds. Is this clear to you? Now we have to do the simplification, right? So maybe 25 2s are, and this is going to be 9 2s are, right? So 25 5s are will be your 125 upon 9, isn't it? Now do the simplification. 9 ones are 9. Then how many are remaining? 35. So what will be the next? Sorry, this is 125. So here point will not come, right? So it will be 9 3s are 27. So 35 minus 27 is how much? Yeah, almost 8, right? We have to take 0, isn't it? So it will be 9 9s are 81, right? And so on. So this way we can convert this kilometer per hour into meter per second also. Am I clear how to do the conversion of kilometer per hour into meter per second? Now please excuse me here. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so this is your final answer in meter per second. Am I clear how to find the average speed? Right? Now let us move to the next example. Example 8.3. In example 8.3, Usha is swimming in a 90-meter long pool. If suppose this is the swimming pool starting from here till here. So the length of this pool is 90 meters total. Okay. Now what happens next? She covers 180 meter in 1 minute by swimming from one end to the other and back along the same straight path. Means Usha ने यहाँ से swimming करना start किया and in 1 minute she is traveling or she is swimming 180 meters. यानी कि यहाँ से start किया, यहाँ गई, यहाँ से वापस start किया, यहाँ पे आ गई. So total distance उसका कितना हुआ? 180 meters in how much time? 1 minute. Isn't it? Did you understand what is given? एक 90 meters का pool है जिसमें उषा swimming कर रही है और 1 minute में उसने distance कितना cover किया? 180 meters का. यानी जहां से start किया वो वहां पे आ गई. Isn't it? Now what is the next question here? Find the average speed and average velocity of Usha. So first of all, what is the total distance covered by Usha? So total distance covered by Usha is how much? 180 meters. And in how much time? Total time. What is the total time here? 1 minute. And we know that in 1 minute how many seconds are there? 60 seconds. Now why do we need to change it? Because here it is given in meter. So of course we have to convert it in seconds, isn't it? Now let us find the average speed. Average speed. What is the formula? Total distance covered upon total time taken. Right? So what is the total distance covered by Usha? 180. And what is the total time taken? 60 seconds. So on simplifying, what we are going to get? 3 meter per second. That will be the average speed of Usha. Yes? Now next, what do we need to find out? We have to find the average velocity of Usha. Now here, for average velocity, what do we need? What is the formula of average velocity? Yes, displacement upon time. Here I have written in short, but it should be total displacement upon total time. Now, if we talk about displacement, Usha ने यहाँ से start किया था. When she started, this is the origin. She is traveling or she is swimming all along till here and she is coming back to complete this much distance. That is, what is the displacement of Usha? Of course, it is going to be 0 meter because उसने यहाँ से start किया था and she is back to this origin only, isn't it? So here the displacement will be 0 meter and the time will be of course 60 seconds. So 0 by 60 is 0. Am I clear? And it will be 0 meter per second. So the average velocity of Usha is 0 meter per second and her average speed is 3 meter per second. Now we will have to discuss few blue text questions which are given on page number 102. The first question is already discussed when I did the explanation of differences between speed and velocity. right? The second question, under what condition is the magnitude of average velocity of an object will be equal to its average speed? तो यहाँ पे एवरेज वेलोसिटी इक्वल टू एवरेज स्पीड कब होगा? जब डिस्टेंस और डिस्प्लेसमेंट दोनों एक ही होंगे. दैट इज व्हेन द डिस्टेंस is equal to displacement, the magnitude of average velocity of an object will be equal to its average speed. The third question, what does the odometer of an automobile measure? क्या काम है odometer का automobile में? It measures distance covered by that automobile, right? In example 8.2 we have experienced also कि odometer ने पहले starting में 2000 किलोमीटर का reading दिया था, and when that car reached at certain distance it showed 2400 kilometers, isn't it? Now the fourth question, what does the path of an object look like when it is in uniform motion? Yes, I forgot to teach you all the graphical presentation of uniform and non-uniform motion. Let me show you here. Now if suppose you know how to draw the graph better than me, okay, so please excuse me if my work is not proper. Now here if I will show the distance and if I will show here time, right, and here if 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. If suppose one car is moving at the constant speed, I can say that in 2 seconds it is covering 10 meter distance, in 4 seconds it is covering 20 meter distance, in 6 meter it is covering 30 meter distance, and so on. That is, at every 2 seconds the distance is increasing by 10 meters, isn't it? Now if we will connect all these points, if they are connected, it will form a straight line, isn't it? And whenever we get, so you can please excuse me because I am not using the scale here, so the line may not be the straight, but whenever you get such type of graph, whenever you get such type of distance versus time graph, that is a straight line, this shows uniform motion. What does it show? Uniform motion. Is this clear? And if suppose the other car, when it is moving at a particular speed and it is not covering the equal distance at the regular interval of time, may be possible here in this case we may get such type of graphs, a kind of curved line this way or maybe this way. Am I clear? Maybe this way, some or the other way. If you get such curved line graph, so this will show you non-uniform motion. Am I clear? Non-uniform motion. This is one of the most important question asked, that whenever you draw the distance versus time graph for uniform motion, which type of graph you will get. So there you will have to write, you will get the graph which is having a straight line, and in case of non-uniform motion it is not going to be the straight line but it is going to be a curved line. Am I clear with this? So the answer to the fourth question will be the straight line. Fine. Now let us move to the last question of the page, that is question number 5. Please read the question by the time I will rub the board. Fine. So what is given in question number 5? During an experiment, a signal from a spaceship reached the ground station in 5 minutes. यानी टाइम दिया है यहाँ पे. Whatever things are given, we will just note it down. Okay. What is the time given? 5 minutes. Just now we are not going to do any conversion. Am I clear? Next question. What was the distance of the spaceship from the ground station? यानी कि इसमें हमें क्या फाइंड करना है? Distance. So I'll put a question mark here. Right. And the last, what is given? The signal travels at the speed of light, that is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. That is, speed is given 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. Now here in the book it is given like this, meter per second. If you write this way or this way, they both are the correct ways. Am I clear with this? Now what do we have to find out? Distance. What formula we need to find? We need to use speed is equal to distance upon time. What is the distance here? We need to find, that is, distance is equal to speed into time. Isn't it? What is the speed given here? 3 into 10 raised to 8. And what is the time here? 5 minutes. Now we will convert it, because here it is given meter per second. This is minute. So we need to convert it in seconds. So 5 into 60, that is going to be your 300 seconds. Right? So here in place of time, it will be 300. Right? So it is going to be your 900 into 10 raised to 8. If we will simplify this, we will be getting 9 into 10 raised to 10 what? Meter per second. Now they have not asked us to convert it into kilometer per hour or so on. So we are not going to do any changes with this. So what will be the distance here? The distance will be 9 into 10 raised to 10 meter per second. Am I clear with this? How to solve the numerical, right? So this is the end of our 8.2 unit. Hopefully you have clearly understood whatever is taught today. That is about uniform, non-uniform motion. Then we have discussed about speed, its SI unit. Then we have discussed about average speed. After that, we have discussed about velocity, average velocity, velocity when the uniform motion is there, velocity when the non-uniform motion is there, right? And all the formulas along with the SI units we have discussed, along with so many numericals. Fine. So that's all for today. Thank you. Have a good day.